We are wrapping up our first module of the Newborn Touch Instructor course. And we've had such a great journey with understanding our newborns from the prenatal period when they're developing their major senses. We learned about the sense of touch developing so early during pregnancy and being such an incredible part of working with newborns as they develop. That sense of touch is so incredibly important. So what the baby's wearing, what kind of fabric they're feeling, going skin to skin with mom and dad, feeling massage techniques and touch techniques, which I'll teach you in the next segment that's coming up, the next module on touch, and understanding about baby's development of smell and taste at the same time, and how they're inhaling and exhaling amniotic fluid, which is chemically matched and aligned with their mother's amniotic fluid and her chemical profile and the profile of her breast milk. Amazing. And we learned about the development of the baby's sounds, their hearing, their ear architecture, how incredibly important that is to be very careful about babies' ear development, the sound development, and also about the development of their sense of sight, their vision. All of that happening before they are born. Then we learned about the birth process and what that's like from the baby's perspective. And we were introduced to the amazing miracle of the fourth trimester. And we learned that their babies are born with a calming reflex. So we know that they're born with the Moro reflex. There's lots of infant reflexes, lots of newborn reflexes rather. And the Moro reflex is the one where if you rub your finger on a baby's little bare foot, their toes will expand. And so that's often what'll happen by the healthcare provider when the baby's born is they'll just check that reflex and make sure that neurologically everything's wired. And another reflex is the startle reflex, where, if you hold a baby with their back down, they'll startle. And that's another newborn reflex. Well, who knew? I didn't know. Who knew there's a calming reflex? And that the way that we demonstrate that is using the knee hammer that's used to identify your knee reflex. So when you're on the exam table, you'll sit there and the doctor will tap and tap and tap. And when they hit the right tendon, then your knee will reflex. But if they're just off a little bit, or a little bit this way, or a little bit that way, they don't get right onto the spot where your knee reflexes, and that neurological pathway is engaged. So we know that the calming reflex is very specific, and there are exquisite techniques to trigger that calming reflex. So there's a right way to swaddle and there's a wrong way to swaddle, and you're going to learn the right way to swaddle. And then we got a chance to really go in deep into some of the neurological development of the newborn and what's going on behind that little soft spot, what's going on inside the baby's brain in terms of their development. But I began the segment by sharing with you why I developed the Newborn Touch Instructor Program, why I'm so passionate about trying to help new couples avoid what we faced, where I felt that I didn't have the skills I needed to help my baby cry less and sleep more. I didn't have the competence, and then that meant that I didn't have the confidence. So we want our families to feel so skilled and so competent that their confidence rises up and they just intuitively know how to parent. Way back in the day, we were raised in areas where we got to watch our older cousins, our aunts, our grandmother. We got to watch a lot of different people caring for babies. And now it's not that way. And so what used to be intuitive now needs to be taught, and that's what we're doing. So that's my why. And I would also like to share with you a second why. So my first why is why I created the Newborn Touch Instructor Program, but there's a second why, and I'm so happy to share with you that why I was so thrilled to be able to partner with LifeWays. So LifeWays principles and practices, to my mind, are the how. So I've shared with you the why I created this. You got a lot of the what, what is In Touch? What does In Touch stand for? What kind of content are we going to be learning? But LifeWays practical principles and practices are the how. So I encourage you, as soon as you finish this segment, go on to the homepage of LifeWays, go into the top bar and click the About button. And you'll see the scroll down menu and you will see LifeWays principles and LifeWays practices. And I'd love for you to read those principles and then click on the practices and read those and scroll all the way down to the bottom, because there's a special segment about practices for infants. And that's very pertinent to what we're doing. So that's going to give you a deeper understanding of why I'm so excited to be partnering with LifeWays for the Newborn Touch Instructor Program. What I'd love for you to do is, at the end of this segment, I'm just very curious about your why. And so would you please, in the comment section, share with us what in all of this kind of triggered something in you that you said, okay, that's why I'm doing this. That's why I feel so strongly about this particular point in time where we're all encouraged to really be aware of the fourth trimester and that beautiful sacred space where we're helping families and helping babies. So share that in the comments section, and I will see you in our section about touch, where we learn touch and infant massage techniques and wonderful ways to have skin-to-skin experiences with our newborns. So have a great rest of your day, and looking forward to reading all of your comments. Take care.